Hey guys, it's Miles Rainer. I noticed a lot of tutorials out there are getting pretty outdated, so I'm here to bring you an updated version. This isn't a full code along, instead I break down each part, keep it quick, and explain what does what so you can easily recreate it yourself. At first, let's have a look at the input manager. I've implemented a throw input, you can add whatever key you like most. Now have a look at the grenade model. The mother node is a rigid body 3D followed by the actual mesh. In my case, I downloaded one from Sketchfab, but you can use whatever you like. For example, a sphere mesh will do the job as well. The second node is the collision shape. Be sure to adjust it to your grenade model. Next in line is an area 3D node called radius with a collision shape as a child. This will act as the blast radius. Lastly, there's a timer node called fuse timer, so our grenade doesn't explode right away after initiation. Additionally, I've prepared an explosion VFX. I'll show you at the end how this will work, so you don't need to add it right now to your scene. One last setup step before we dive into coding. In your player scene, add a node 3D under your camera. Then attach a marker 3D as its child. This will act as a spawn point for the grenade. Position it around neck height and a bit forward to simulate a throw. Don't forget to add a timer node called throw timer. We'll later connect this to the player script using signals. Next, let's jump into the player script to set up two key variables. First, we load the grenade scene and store it in a variable. The second, can throw, will help us to manage the game's throw logic. Now onto the grenade throw function. It might look a bit complicated, but it's actually pretty straightforward. First, it checks if the throw button is pressed and if can throw is true. If both conditions are met, we instantiate the grenade. Set its spawn point to a marker 3D node and add it as a child to the current scene. We also want to add a cooldown of each throw, so right after spawning, we set can throw to false. If you connected the throw timer to your player script with signals, you can now start the timer with one line of code. In the timer's callback function, just reset can throw to true, so you're ready to throw again. Important to mention is to turn under the inspector one shot on and set the wait time to about 3 seconds. Finally, we'll add a little physics to give the grenade a realistic arc. These lines use the player's position and apply forward force for good simulation. Okay, that was kind of a speedrun, not gonna lie, but if you save the script and load your scene, you should have something looking like this. If not, check the code again, maybe the collisions, or just write a comment. Still, we need some grenade logic. So in the next step, we will add a script to our grenade rigid body. At first, you need to reference your grenade mesh, so we can address it later. In the onBodyEntered script, you could add damping for better physics. You can create this function with the bodyEntered signal on the rigid body. Next up, connect the fuse timer with the grenade script and create a timeout function. Now again, don't get scared, this is simple code. The first line declares bodies, so we can get informations about every body in our radius. The next block is a for loop. For every object in the radius, apply the following. Only if the object is in the group enemy and has the method kill, kill it. Now we need to create a timer before deleting the grenade from the scene. Okay, so you may be wondering what I mean with group enemy and method kill. On your enemy scene, click on Node, Groups, and add enemy. Now in the enemy script, add a kill function, which handles the enemy's death. If you're starting a simple project, maybe just add Q3. Ignore the lines above. If you save and hit play, you will have coded your first working grenade. Congrats! If you want to make your game more fun, add an explosion VFX. As a bonus, I show you really quick how to implement this explosion visual. Create a node 3D and add as child as much particle effects as you like. To create one, I recommend you this video. You could add a sound to make things even better. Now all you need to do is add a script. Get a reference for every particle effect you have and start creating an explosion function. Set emitting to true, your sound to play, and add a timer plus Q3 to delete the explosion afterwards. Now from the explosion script you switch to the grenade code. Set the explosion to visible, call the function, and hide the mesh. That's important because you don't want to have the grenade laying on the floor after the explosion. Okay, so now that was my first tutorial. I hope you learned something. Again, I know this was really quick, so if you have any questions, write a comment. I'll try to answer ASAP. I would really appreciate a like, subscription or feedback on how to improve my videos. See you next time.